This is the place for boomers, Boomer Being, with your host, Leslie Neumer.
Welcome, I'm Leslie Neumer with 95.9 WATD FM. Today's topic comes from a South Shore Chamber of Commerce series on women in local leadership, asking local leaders, what does leadership mean to you? My expert guest is Paula Harris. Paula is the co-founder and owner and principal of WH Cornerstone Investments. Paula is assisting people in the life planning that goes hand in hand with financial planning. Welcome back, Paula.
Thank you, Leslie. So happy to be here.
And we love having you.
Thank
you
you.
Recently participated in a Women in Local Leadership series. Would you share some of those highlights with us?
I'd be delighted to. So I was invited to be a part of this because I am a past chairman of the South Shore Chamber in 2012. So they had invited me to be a part of this group of women leaders. And so we got to talk about a number of different topics from, leading in your community to leading in your business world.
And from your experience as a business owner and leader, why is it important for our listeners to step into leadership roles in the community?
So I think our country is amazing. We are founded on people who give of their time in both politics, for nonprofits, in our churches, where I think a lot of other countries rely on the government to fill a lot of those roles, but we get to participate in our communities. So I think that's so important. And when you do that, you get to reinforce skills that you already have, and teach others. You get to learn new skills, which I think is so important, especially for people who want to try something different. You get to meet people of all ages and backgrounds, and you get to make a difference where you live, work, and play.
Fabulous. What role does authenticity play in being a leader in always changing times?
Oh, that's a great question, Leslie. Authenticity, and I think about it sort of in the political realm with our politicians. I don't feel like we have a lot of authenticity. I feel like our politicians tend to lead by polls, and they decide which way things are going, and very few people take a stance. They just want to get reelected. But to be a true leader, being authentic is so important because we need people who take a stand. People who have purpose and passion, I think, are so important. They have to have a set of values that guide them. They need to be relationship oriented, have self-discipline, and then, rounding that out, have heart. Realize that you need to be able to connect with people in all types of ways. So being authentic, a true leader being authentic really stands in a powerful place.
What do you see are the 2 or 3 most important characteristics of a leader?
So there's so many different types of leaders, but I think humility is one that really stands out for me. And then another one is being thoughtful. There's a lot of information that a leader needs to sift through and digest. And then the third thing I would say is then they have to be decisive. You have to really know where, be willing to stand up and make that decision. And I think it's a lonely place often for leaders, but it's a really important place to be in order for organizations and people to move forward. So I see that being very important.
Now, might leadership be different in the workplace?
It's interesting when you say that, yes, like part of our role in financial planning is we're helping lead people to their promised land, helping people see their vision, helping them uncover it. So there's that aspect, but then there's also in the workplace, we need to lead our employees. So that's a very important piece as well. And you need to be a leader in multiple roles that are so important with your customers and clients, as well as your team and staff.
Well, thank you so much, Paula, for sharing your expertise with us.
Always a pleasure, Leslie.
And listeners can go to whcornerstone.com to learn more or to reach out to Paula. WH Cornerstone is located at 17 Tremont Street in Kingston. And thanks very much for joining us today on the Boomer Being Show.
This has been Boomer Being on WATD.